I'm Ben from Hong Kong.
Hi, Ben from Hong Kong.
So I would like to ask a question about spiritual warfare, which has been confusing me for a while.
Okay.
So John Paul Jackson wrote a book titled "The Casualty of War."
I know.
In it, he shared testimony about a church that was afflicted with cancer after praying for abortion. So he suggested that we should engage in battle with proper level of authority. Without that authority, we should not engage in the battle easily. However, at Bethel, we always emphasize our identity and authority in spiritual warfare. So my question is, to engage in spiritual battle, do we need to afraid of like we were being cursed, or is there anything we need to be aware of?
Well, I'll say this, like John Paul Jackson was one of my friends. I love him. And that was the one book him and I don't agree about. And we had a conversation around my dinner table many years ago. You know, John's passed since then. He's one of the greatest prophets of our time. But I said to John, that book is worthy of a chapter, but not worthy of an entire book. Because when I start to fear the enemy, then I've done exactly what even in the Old Testament, God actually said that it was sin for them to be afraid of the enemy. So when you create a culture where you're afraid of principalities or powers, they're under my feet. Now, let me be clear. I do think that strategy is important, and I do think that you can outgrow your metron, or you can step beyond your metron. And I think when you do that, it's kind of like, I would see it like this. When you promote yourself, when God promotes you, He protects you. When you promote yourself, humility often comes from defeat. So I do think there's some truth there, but I think creating a whole culture where people are, afraid that something's going to happen to me because the big devil, and I'm like, and I said to John Paul, like, it's creating. I know John doesn't have this, but it's creating other people a big devil and a little God. So I struggle with that. I struggle with it as a book. I don't struggle with it like, stay in your metron, stay in your lane. But then when you're like, when people get sick and die, I'm like, whoa, bro, that's like pretty tough. So I would not agree with that.